It's the first home game of the season for the Westports Malaysia Dragons this season. They opened their season with 2 victories, but on Tuesday night this week, they recorded their first loss against their opponents today, the defending champions, the Indonesia Warriors. They lost that game by 1 point. Dragons shooting guard Lo Shi-Fai could have won it in the last 11 seconds, but Steve Demon Thomas rejecting him, saying, "Not in my house today." But today, on Saturday, the 26th of January 2013, we are in the Dragons' house. We are at MABA, and it's going to be a very, very different game because they say the crowd is the X factor. Hello, everybody. I'm Ben Ibrahim, alongside my co-commentator for today, Andy Whitelaw, as well as our courtside reporter, Lenora Lau. But Andy, let's get stuck into this. 2 teams, very different styles of basketball. The Warriors, defense. The Dragons, offense. Which one's going to win?
Well, this is the Dragons' house, as you said, Ben. Now, there are a lot of turnovers as far as the Dragons were concerned. It was sloppy defensively. The Warriors, you have to commend them. They get right up in the Dragons' faces. They made the most of those fast breaks. And in the paint, Stephen Thomas can make a huge impact. However, the return of Tau Tua could be a major wild card for the home side. He's had a back injury. He's back today. He can stuff it, and he could be the wild man.
Now, if you ask me, Tau Tua, playing him is a little bit of a gamble, starting him, because he hasn't played many minutes. Now, Coach Ariel has said during the season, and when we dropped by on Thursday night to ask him and interview him, he said, look, I want to develop the local players, the guys like Kwan Yung Jing, Lo Shi-Fai, John Ng, he's almost there, but not quite there, but big time improvement. Now, Coach Ariel, even though he's Filipino, he's trying to do his best for Malaysian basketball.
Absolutely. You look at players like Barn, great experience. He's played for the national team. He's starting the game today. You know, he can shoot it. He can drive the plays from the top of the key and get the imports involved as well. Also, you look at Kwek, who started the last 2 games. He can have an impact from the bench. But Malaysian Dragons want to make sure that they can get the ball to their shooters, get on those hot streaks, and really hit those threes.
Well, Coach Purvis spoke to us before the game, minutes before the game, and he said, look, I've got to make those baskets. My average field goal percentage, the highest in the team, is Amin Priantono at 40%, and John Smith, who used to play for the Saigon Heat, at 40%. Pretty low, Andy.
Well, the Dragons were 47% in the previous game in Jakarta. Now, if they can keep up those numbers higher than the Warriors and keep the Warriors out of the paint, they've got every chance. Home advantage.
Okay, over to Lenora, our courtside reporter.
Thank you very much, Ben and Andy. While you are taking a look at the players, what I'm looking at are the fans. Now, it was a very close shave on Tuesday night, and the Dragons really need that win. But you know what? It's home ground, so it's going to be excellent for the mental preparation. The crowd is going hush right now because the national anthem is going to be played very soon. But right now, next to me, I got 2 of the fans of KL Dragon. Liam, right?
Yes.
So, okay, who is your favorite player?
Number 20.
That's Shi-Fai, shooting guard. Okay, get back to you guys.
Thanks very much. Then we're just going to take a moment of silence for the national anthem.
Negaraku, tanah tumpahnya darahku, rakyat hidup bersatu dan maju, rahmat bahagia Tuhan kurniakan, Raja kita selamat bertakhta. Rahmat bahagia Tuhan kurniakan, Raja kita selamat bertakhta.
Well, the national anthems of both teams, these two countries are very passionate when it comes to this rivalry. And let's look at the standings. Very, very contrast. The Westports Malaysia Dragons, they've had 2 victories and 1 loss. And the exact opposite with the Indonesia Warriors with 1 victory on Tuesday night this week and 2 losses, Andy.
Well, the Indonesia Warriors reigning champions. I've been impressed with them against the Dragons. I mean, inside the paint, they were just deadly. Stephen Thomas, nigh unstoppable. They've done this without star player Stanley Pringle as well.
Okay, we're just going to take a very short commercial break, but don't go away. It's the Westports Malaysia Dragons versus the Indonesia Warriors right here on the ASEAN Basketball League Season 2013. We'll see you soon. It's game time here at the MABA Stadium in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And we've got John Smith, Mario Wusong, Chris Daniels, Steve Demon Thomas, and Setepu, also known as Dodo. And opening tip-off, and no joy. Okay, legal scrimmaging in the middle there. Andy, both teams too keen to go.
That's it. There's Edwards winning the tip-off to Sealand. Here we go at the top of the key. That's the man we were talking about, Tautua, at the start of the game. Cedric Bozeman, his stats have been incredible so far, and that's a nice-looking assist to get us kicked off.
Opening basket, good movement of the perimeter by the Dragons, but they've got to be careful. The Warriors can't hit back. Mario Wusong now. Open shot, no joy.
Got to get on those rebounds early on, the Dragons. That can be their weakness, especially with Thomas in the top of the key.
So inbound pass here by the Warriors. Can they set something up?
Daniels and Thomas, of course, work so well together. They've been friends for years, and they've got to stop that combination play. The Dragons, interesting starting five, got Sealand, Barn, Edwards, Bozeman, and that man Tautua who opened the scoring.
Bunsin Oi, the man from Penang. New recruit, turnover, and that is the Warriors' ball. And that's something they have to do this game, and they protect the ball.
Agreed, Ben. It's something we covered in the opening. It's something that the Warriors really capitalized on in Jakarta. Now, fair enough, the Dragons are going to concede the odd one. It's just their style of play. But when it matters, the Warriors got 20 points in Jakarta from the turnover.
Nobody wants the ball here, Andy, and the communication in both camps are a little bit weak at the moment. But the Dragons, they have the basket. And Bunsen Oi is going to be the playmaker at the moment. Tautua, very limited minutes during the season.
Tautua back to Barn. Barn drives into the... Oh, back to Tautua, but again turnover for the Warriors and a fast break. Here's Daniels. Oh, with the lay-in, but misses. Great rebounding from Tautua.
Second turnover by the Dragons so far this game. They consider themselves lucky. Again, that's the third turnover. Oh my God, are they trying to beat last week's stats or Tuesday night stats, Andy?
Sloppy play from the Dragons, and the Warriors can do this all day long. They've got to make those passes count, and that's a fantastic lay-in from Mario Wusang.
Mario Wusang, the man with an average of 13 points a game, average of field goal percentage of 31%. Let's look at that. He just goes to the basket. A great drop shot. A man of class. That's why he was season 2011 local MVP. Seelan hesitated for the money shot.
Edwards puts it up. Swoosh! Nice interplay there from the Dragons, swinging around the top of the key. Seelan and Barn working well together. But here goes John Smith Jr. Puts it up.
Okay, that's a foul.
Could this be an injury to the big man, Thomas?
Ooh, this could change things if the Demon Thomas, the big man, goes down.
If they were to lose him at this stage of the game, Ben.
He's struggling, Andy. Good point. They don't want to lose him because they don't have a lot of options on the bench. The Warriors, so far this season, have only used 8 players. Inbound pass by the Warriors.
Daniels! Edwards and Thomas competing for the rebound there. Warriors ball.
Very surprising that they went to Chris, number 9, Chris Daniels, for the shot, because he's more of a rebounder, but looks like he's going to try to mix it up. Demon Thomas coming off, not looking good, hobbling and looking at Coach Purvis saying, Coach, I don't think so. Rebound, well done, Tautua.
Tautua having a real impact there again, into Bozeman. Bozeman drives in, puts it up, and draws the foul.
That is a foul on the Warriors. That's 2 shots. They're all arguing it's 2 shots. The Dragons saying it's 2 shots. I think it's a 2 shots, Andy.
It looked an obvious 2 shots. Bozeman is not a happy man.
What's going on here? We said that it's 2 shots. The crowd's going nuts.
Listen to them, Ben. They don't like it.
Oh my God, this is an inbound pass. Okay, looks like referees. Bit of confusion here. Everybody is confused of what's going on. But at the end of the day, the referees call the shots. It's hard to be in their position.
Tell you what, still only 4-2 the score, and so much drama taking place. Potentially, Stephen Thomas is out of the basketball game. Tautua, what an impact he's had since returning from injury.
He's playing like a man possessed because he's trying to make a statement to Coach Ariel. You should start me. I'm young, I'm hungry. I came here all the way from San Francisco to play regular basketball. Oh, rejection.
That was a great claim from Daniels, rebounding his own shot. Here comes Barn, driving in. Good D from the Warriors, closing down the space. John Ung inside to Edwards. Edwards puts up the layup, but Smith on the rebound.
Edwards should have done better there. That was a poor drop shot to the basket, but Warriors have the basket now. Andy, this is a bit of a sloppy match.
Daniels up against Bozeman.
And he gets the 2 shots. It's a foul.
So much for home court advantage, Ben.
Yeah, well, you know, it's early days yet, Andy. And that was a good call by the referees. That was a foul.
Well, here comes the big man, Stephen Demont Thomas, back in the game. Daniels. Crowd getting into it. A cool head from Daniels.
A cool hit. His average field goal percentage during the season thus far, 39%. Pretty good for a forward. This big man, Chris Daniels.
Cool as you like.
Playing for the Barangay Kings, who are the Lakers of the Philippines, according to Cedric Bozeman.
On the top of the key. Finds Bozeman. Bozeman matched up by Daniels. Back to Seelan. Seelan with a good pass out to Bozeman. Bozeman from outside.
Good shot by Bozeman. He's recovered from that ear infection. And he's playing well. Don't forget, his average field goal percentage this season is 58%. One of the highest in the league, Andy.
Yeah, he's outstanding. His all-round stats, very impressive.
Both coaches at the moment really rotating things around, trying to change it up.
Bozeman, of course, scoring 24 points in Jakarta. He could imagine the impact he could have had he not had that ear infection.
He could have heard something. You saw not connecting. Good
This
rebound.
time the rebound from Bozeman with the fast break. He's got Edwards to his right. Slows it up. Oh, Guga almost gave it away, but Bozeman was sharp to it. Back to Guga, the leader of this team. Seelan on the outside. We know he can shoot. Good D from the Warriors.
The Warriors are really trying to use their strengths at the moment, use their defensive game to slow the Dragons down. It's a timeout right here at MABA Stadium. So Andy, like I said, the opposition today, the Warriors, Coach Purvis looking very, very happy on the bench. And it is a timeout here at the moment. So Dragons really need to find the offensive play and really get into that rhythm. Both teams not hitting their shots at the moment, finding it very inconsistent. We just came from a timeout, and Coach Ariel, according to Lenora, Chinese Whispers, word on the grapevine is, she said, use Edwards and use Bozeman to effective offensive play. Good trick, Andy.
Yeah, nice interplay here from Shut down by Thomas though. Here's Seelan driving in. Outside back to puts up the three.
Superb shot. That's what you call money shot. That's Seelan's job. Looks like John Ung's trying to show the world this season. I can block, I can rebound, but I definitely can shoot as well. Let's look at this. Seelan, unselfish play to Johnny Ung. Yes, the man who's been on the national team since '98. Money.
Using all his years of experience in the game there, but it's nice to see the Dragons using that interplay. You know, it looked like Seelan was driving in for a layup himself at the last minute, throws it outside to such nice technique on the three.
Well said, well said. And now the Warriors. It's two shots. Looks like the referees are a little bit undecisive here. Looks like they've got to make a call and stay for that call. Don't forget, at the start of this season, season 2013, the ASEAN Basketball League brought in a consultant and hired someone full-time to look at the referees. And it was very telling in the first couple of games for the ASEAN Basketball League. Like I said, Daniels is not much of a shooter. He wasn't brought in for his shooting prowess, Andy.
Well, he showed a cool head with his first two, looked very relaxed indeed, but maybe the crowd, the lack of rhythm to the game is getting him. It's been a bit stop-start. Neither team has really found their flow in my eyes.
Oh my God, no joy for Chris Daniels, but they do get the ball back. Sloppy rebounding by the Dragons. Back to Mario Wusong, who can really drill it.
Daniels using all his strength up against Edwards, and that was way off. Now here come the Dragons on the fast break. Guga drives in, looks to get it wide to can he hit another three? Drives into the key. Well laid up by Bozeman.
That's very good reading of the game by the Dragons offensively, looking for that unselfish play. Look at John Ng there. Yeah, he could have got himself, but he went to Bozeman. Well done, John Ng. Play of the quarter so far in this game.
Excellent teamwork from the Dragons as they break into a 6-point lead. Again, Daniels using every ounce of that physicality. Arguably draws the foul. Referee says no, and here come the Dragons on the break with Guga once more. Guga swivels, puts up the layup, misses, and well rebounded from Daniels as the Warriors go forward.
Oh, yeah, that was a very, very needy foul there by the Dragons. The Warriors will have the ball back, but that is what you do. That's what you call desperation sort of stuff, Andy, to slow them down. But yep, and there's an instant change here. Mario Wusong coming on. Amin Priantono coming on for the Indonesia Warriors. And Amin Priantono, even though he hasn't had a lot of minutes, well, yes,
he certainly had a role to play in Jakarta.
Very much so. He's a sharpshooter. And this is 2 shots. Kenyatta, average field goal percentage this season, 27%. Not the best, but he's hit it.
Speaking to Coach Purvis before the game, he had nothing but good things to say about Kenyatta. He gets better week upon week, and his technique is looking fantastic.
That's it. And it's a 4-point ball game here at the MABA Stadium.
Now here's Edwards, such a crucial player for the Dragons. Passes to Jeffries. Jeffries with Patrick. Patrick can find a hot streak from outside when he wants to. Puts it up. And well rebounded by Edwards. Edwards out back to Jeffries. Good D though from the Warriors. Guga offering support. Guga out to Patrick. Will he hit that three?
That's a foul. And the Dragons really, really using all the time on the shot clock to work a perimeter, to work an offensive zone. Screenings by the Warriors would be a little bit better, but Patrick Kabahag, you'd put your house on him making these 2 shots.
Finally drawing those fouls, Ben. They haven't got a lot of joy from the referee in that department thus far.
Patrick had a
You just lost your house.
I just lost my house, man. I lost my mortgage. But Patrick had a very disappointing game last season. I asked him before the game, did you bring your shooting game? He said, yep, I did, and I'm going to score.
He's not going to say no, is he? But
Well,
I'll tell you what, when he hits a streak, there's almost no one better in the league. He can be sensational when he's in the mood.
well, average field goal percentage for Patrick Kabahag this season, 43%. It's quite high for this time of the year.
Sutapu rebounded well by Looking for the fast break with Patrick. Outside to Jeffries. Jeffries hits well, stolen.
That's out. That's out. That looked out.
Kenyatta going flying into the advertising boards as the Warriors break.
That's a foul, but that looked out, and we have a very good angle of that as commentators. But nope. No joy for that call, and it's 2 shots for the Indonesia Warriors.
The second Warrior to take a tumble right before our eyes today, Ben. Thomas early on falling from the contact with Tautua, and Kenyatta going flying into the ad boards, and Daniels with another free throw opportunity, nailing the first one.
Both teams just need to settle down and relax, Andy, because both teams are going at it like a choo-choo train, 150 miles an hour. But the Dragons, they love that.
Having said that, yeah, the Dragons, the high tempo has suited them going forward. I think that interplay has really been commendable. They're scoring points and they find themselves in a 4-point lead.
Richard Smith comes on for Dodo Satepu for the Warriors. Fancy that, having a name Dodo.
Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo Sutepu. We've got a very own Ronaldo today, Ben.
Yep. And one indeed, 26 to replace Ronnie Gunawan. Turnover? No. Recovered well by the Warriors. Kenyatta, he's going to use his speed. He's going to use his speed. He's going to use his speed there. Richard Smith, open man. It's a basket. No joy.
Good rebounding there from the Dragons. Here comes Guga, really dictating things in the final third of the court. Now they're slowing it down a little bit. It's interesting to see because that high tempo has suited them thus far. Here's Edwards, marked out well by Thomas.
That is a foul.
Such a big guy.
is a foul. Holding.
And that's what Purvis will want, to see Thomas shutting down Edwards. Edwards himself is 6'9", biggest players the Dragons have.
He's running hard. Oh, turnover again. That's the 4th turnover for the Dragons. Got to do something about that. Edwards up. Kenyatta. Oh, easy basket there, Andy.
That was great agility shown from Kenyatta to set up Daniels. Daniels has had a lively opening quarter.
Looks like the Warriors will try to play a fast game as well and beat Dragons at their own game. But if you ask me, Andy, they're going a little bit too early. They're just doing enough at the moment. They want to do enough, should I say, at the moment. But 2 shots to the man who used to play for the Atlanta Hawks, Big Cedric.
Cedric Bozeman puts it up nice and easy.
6'6", a good range, good elevation. 2 for 2. He was very inconsistent last week against, well, should I say last week on Tuesday night. Sometimes he hit 2 out of 2, most of the time he hit 1 out of 2, but he wants to make amends and he wasn't feeling very well, to be fair to the fella.
Yeah, he's a player you want on the very top of his game, and if you look at his stats, they're very impressive indeed. 3.67 steals a game, 23.67 points per game. He gets those numbers, Cedric. Here comes the man himself on the break. Nice bit of skill marked up by Smith Jr. to Guga. Guga puts up the 3!
Mark Jeffries was open there, but Guga hit it. And it's all about hitting your shots.
Guga, who's come in for Barn, really adopting that playmaker role. He's 85.71 on his 3-pointers per game, which is a great stat. He leads the league. The captain of this Dragons team.
Referee calling for a foul, and we go to the line. John Smith will have a chance. Let's look at the replay here. Going for the basket. Yeah, the foul there on Bozeman. That's a good call. Feed out.
Smooth as you like from John Smith Jr. The late trade, of course, after Stanley Pringle's injury. He came in from the sideline. He scored 15 points against his old club.
Well, he's got big shoes to fill, playing in for the injured Stanley Pringle, who's got a meniscus injury, operated on January the 6th. He's got 10 more weeks to recovery, and he's very positive at the moment. Coach Purvis was saying he's a positive guy to have, young guy, talented guy, can play anywhere really. And he is the heart and soul of this team.
Patrick outside, great pass to Jeffries. Jeffries blocked out from Thomas, drawing the foul. Thomas a little reckless
that
there.
Was a little bit of a, my opinion, not really much of a foul. Looked like a clean rejection. Let's have a look at it again. Angles are deceptive. Jeffries looked like he was doing a breakdance there and just went back.
You remember at the end of the game in Jakarta, that incredible block from Thomas. Such an imposing figure. No chance. Here's Jeffries. Nice. Jeffries, very smooth indeed.
Warriors got to be careful. Second team foul. Mark Jeffries, the man from San Diego, Filipino-American, went to William Penn University. Very athletic college. Didn't make his second shot. And we have over 1 minute to go in this game. And Kenyatta dictating the tempo. Coach Purvis said before the game,
he loves Kenyatta. Kenyatta was very impressive for me and a huge part of the Warriors' strategy as he drives in, as he does now. But what a block from Gavin Edwards.
Rejection. And the Dragons on the counter. Easy basket here.
Jeffries puts up a layup. Oh!
I thought that was a basket.
John Smith Jr. driving in. Lovely behind the back pass to Thomas. That was one of the better plays all day from the Warriors. Great stuff.
Bad screening by the Dragons. They should have done better. Should have posted up.
Great flair from John Smith Jr.
Coach Purvis looking to his bench. Bozeman with the ball. Andy, they're really working the perimeter again.
Patrick looking for space on the outside. We know he can hit those threes, but it's Bozeman who puts it up, and Bozeman who scores.
This guy is amazing. He's played in the Philippines, he's played for the UCLA Bruins, and he's played in the NBA. Let's hope he's here to stay for a good long time to come. But John Smith, basket, good shot, nothing but net.
22-17 to the Dragons at the end of the first quarter. Wow, there's been some incredible plays and some sloppiness as well.
Sloppiness, especially by the Dragons, a high amount of turnovers. But the Warriors, on the other hand, they are not making their baskets consistently. They could very much have the lead. Anyway, we can talk more about that a bit later. We're just going to go for a short commercial break. Don't go away. It's the Warriors and the Dragons. We're back at the MABA Stadium between the game between the Westports Malaysia Dragons and the Indonesia Warriors. If you're just joining us for the very first time on ESPN, it's the Westports Malaysia Dragons that lead 22 points to 17 over their rivals, but they have turned the ball over at least 5 to 6 times in the first quarter. You're joining me, Ben Ibrahim, and Andy Whitelow. And Andy, the Dragons should be leading by more.
Well, they've been a little bit sloppy at times. You've got to credit the Warriors' defense, so they get right up in your face. Physicality of Thomas is hard to combat, and arguably, you know, the Warriors themselves haven't hit a lot of their shots. In the previous game, they're only 33% from field goals.
And rebounding hasn't been the best by the Dragons. They should have rebounded that. But now they've been position back, and it's Mario Wusong. He's got the three. He's got it. No. Ooh. What is going on?
Cedric Bozeman is an unhappy man. They haven't liked a lot of the refs' calls today.
You better be careful. He could get a technical. You don't want that. Got to be careful. Got to be calm and composed. But that didn't look like a foul, Andy. I didn't think so. I'd love to watch the replay on that.
Here comes Daniels in for Kenyatta. Daniels, good scoring rate in the game so far. Now, the Warriors seem to have been given a lot more fouls than the Dragons, and that's what the Dragons are complaining about. Of course, they're at home in front of their fans. You can hear these fans. They don't like some of these decisions, whether right or wrong. But here's John Smith Jr., Mario Wusong. They slow it down, but here's Daniels. Daniels! Oh, Jeffries is nice and strong on him there.
Mark Jeffries acting like the referee saying travel, and that was a travel. Back to the Dragons ball. The MC trying to fire up the crowd and get him into this. They've just got to work the system better.
It was good D there from the Dragons. They managed to crowd Daniels out. Daniels having a lot of joy in the paint though thus far. That's what they need more of, the Dragons. But Patrick puts it up, drawing the foul from Mario Wusong.
Now that didn't look like a foul, Andy, I must say. I'll be honest.
And it comes down to consistency.
Legal use of the hand foul on Mario Wusong, so Patrick Kabahag will get 2 shots.
1 of 2 from the free throw line so far. Very nice.
Well, he must have heard you, Andy. He must have heard your comments. Patrick Kabahag, an introvert, very much a quiet character off the court. The nicest guy you'll ever meet, but when it comes to basketball, Don't muck around. Don't pray, as we say in Malaysia.
You can't mess around with that technique all day long. Here's John Smith Jr. trying to create things. Wusung inside to Thomas. Thomas crowded out, but here's Smith. Smith puts it up. Rebounded well from the Dragons. Can they put on the fast break? Here's Guga. Guga finds Edwards. Edwards with the jam. Stuffs it home.
The monster jam. Love to see that again. That was fantastic. Look at this. No replay.
But that's how you break them. Here's Mario Wusung driving in. Oh, who was that pass to? It went straight to a Dragon. Mario usually more careful with his hand.
The Warriors losing a little bit of that championship composure so far at the moment. But they've got the ball. Okay, turnover. Patrick Kabahag on the attack. All the way to the basket. And it's no basket. Jeffries trying to get the rebound. But Wusung now, can he get it? Looks like nobody wants the basket. Control the basket. Control the basket. That's it. Google this one about to my line. TV captain's got it.
Much better defensive rebounding from the Dragons there. A little bit of over-exuberance from Jeffries. Probably should have scored.
But that's what Coach Ariel brought in Jeffries for, that aggression, that energy. He's a young guy, and he's really using that impact. It's a timeout at the moment. Just take a short break. 26-17 to the home team, the Westports Malaysia Dragons. But nothing. The Sherify basket, that is fantastic. Now Andy Whitelaw, no Shifai, he's trying to state his intentions very clear to Coach Ariel. I want more minutes as well. I want to be groomed to that Patrick Kabahag, Mario Wusung type.
Shifai is one of the best shooters on the Dragons team, and if you look at their numbers, 64% field goals. And that's why they have the lead, Ben. Their field goal percentages was way down in Jakarta, but they seem to be finally finding a bit of rhythm. Here's Tautua. Guga driving in. Guga outside. Shifai again with the three. Oh!
That's what you call a stuck basket on the board. So
kind of reminds you of the playground there.
Yeah, that's what you call street ball stuff, but that would have been a great shot. But well done to the Dragons for making it work, and it is their ball. Inbound pass from team captain. Shifai, goes back to Edwards. Oh my God. This is where the Dragons really need to work on their chemistry. Now during mid-season last season, Coach Ariel said, I'm to blame sometimes for this because team chemistry is not there. Last year's team got along really, really well on and off the court, but they've got some chemistry issues and trust issues right now to work on because they've got to know where each man is.
It's just silly individual errors, Ben, whether it's complacency because they now carry a lead, I'm not sure, but Edwards, with all of his experience, should know better. Now, if you look at his numbers, they're fantastic. He's such a good player for the Dragons. He's crucial, and he's one of the men who can stop Thomas. But when it comes to offense, he should know better. He's got to make his passes count.
Experience counts, doesn't it?
Thomas with a bit of space finds Daniels. Daniels puts it up and hits it. Great technique
good basket.
from Daniels.
Very, very good technique. Excellent follow through. And jump ball. Oh, no jump ball. There was a bit of a tussle on the ground there, but it's Warriors ball. Some interesting calls there by the referees today, Andy. But like we always say, it's very, very hard to do that job.
Thomas puts it up, referee stops it. Thomas and Daniels showing some very interesting link-up play. They've played together for years. They can really, really hurt the Dragons if they get that interplay going.
I couldn't agree with you more, but that interplay sometimes does not come into play. It's funny what they call it interplay, but it's all about perimeters, it's all about systems.
Blocked out by Tao Tua. Here's Barn trying to make something happen. Here's John Ung. Ung puts it up. Oh, rebounded from Daniels.
This is where the Dragons can't get complacent. They've let teams back into their games by getting complacent. John Ung, he's just got to go for those easy 2 points. But courage is courage.
Daniels fancies his chances. 9 points in the basketball game already. Stood up by John Ung. Drives in. No foul, says the ref. Dragons can break here. Here's Barn. Quick pass. Here's Tautua. Puts it up. Foul. That's a great drive from Tautua. Such a strong guy.
And that is very much a foul. Very, very objective, that one. Legal use of the hands. Clear as crystal. And Tautua, can he shoot? Average field goal percentage is 43% for this big man. An average of 7 points per game, 3 rebounds so far. Let's see if he can shoot.
Now, we marked him out at the start of the game, Ben, as a real wild card. He can make a huge difference. Coming back from the back injury that he's had over the past couple of games, we don't know if he's fully fit yet, but he provides energy. He can dunk the basket. He is good defensively, and he can clearly free throw.
I was just about to say, and he can shoot the basket. Healthy, relatively healthy lead here for the Westports Malaysia Dragons.
Look at Purvis, coach of the Warriors. He's striding up and down. The jacket is off. You wonder, is the pressure starting to get to him? Because at the moment, Dragons starting to show a little bit of dominance. But here's Kenyatta.
I disagree with you there, Andy. He has got championship experience, so he knows what he's doing. And the Demon goes in. No, it's hot potato in the paint.
It's real messy in there, but it's nice to see the Dragons, the likes of John Ung, battling against Thomas. I mean, look at the size of the two men, but Ung showing determination to take it off the big man. It's a Warriors ball.
Can't give Armin Trento no shots. Gotta get some stops here. Oh, good turn. Oh, good rebound. That's why they brought in Chris Daniels, Defensive Player of the Year in Holland in the year 2008.
And Chris Daniels getting points on the board today, showing both defensively and offensively what he can do for this Warriors team. He's been the most impressive man so far for the visitors, but there goes Barn putting it up.
Oshifai, good connection there. Playing with greater confidence now. Average field goal percentage is 38% for this man because he hasn't had much minutes. Oh, this is a give me basket. Rejection!
Monster block from Edwards.
Don't we just love to see that? The crowd loves to see that, and that's why everybody loves to watch this great game of basketball right here on the ASEAN Basketball League. Warriors pass.
It's moments like that that can lift a team, Ben. Oh, from way downtown, off the rim. Here comes Loshi Fai. We know he can shoot. Barn drives into the key. What's the referee given there?
Well, that is the foul. He went for the basket. Dragons ball. Should be 2 shots here. But no. This should be 2 shots here, Andy.
There's a little query over whether he's going to give the 2.
Yeah. We all thought it was a 2. Well, Tautua got the basket, drives, takes 3 men on, and pushing.
Kenyatta protesting his innocence. Look at his face.
Now this, Andy, is 2 shots. He's pushing while going to the basket. No referee says otherwise.
He didn't think he did anything wrong there, Ben.
No, not really, but he was just trying to get the ball. Shifai.
Boy! Fantastic technique. That gets the crowd off their feet. A pivotal 3 points in this match.
Looks like Coach Ariel is trying to use Shifai as that shooting guard that he uses. Patrick, get back on your feet. Kenyatta, open man. Good shut down there by the Dragons on Priantono.
Kenyatta so dynamic, gets the ball to Daniels. Daniels again putting up the layup, but this time missing. Good rebounding from the Warriors. Daniels, though, seals it.
Daniels keeping the Warriors in this game with his aggressive hustle and rebounding. Definitely the best player for the Warriors so far, but early days yet, Andy. Oh, that could have been a turnover.
Here's Edwards driving in strong. Tautua draws the foul. Now Barn trying to show a little bit of dynamism of his own. If you look at what Kenyatta's trying to do for the Warriors, he's creating that space for the danger man. Daniels really getting himself on the scoreboard.
Let's look at this again. Edwards. Oh. Moment there, it looked like a slip, but it was a little bit of a foul. Tautua. Oh. Getting a bit frustrated there, Tautua, but he hasn't had a lot of playing time.
Yeah, Tautua can be a real game changer for this Dragons team. You've just got to look at his strength in the key. It's made a huge difference. If you look at the scoreline, Dragons lead by 11.
Yeah, but remember, the Dragons, they like to invite teams back in.
Of course, conceding that 13-point lead in Jakarta. Here's Thomas, the danger man in the paint, drawing the foul from Edwards.
Good call by the referee. There's a foul. Hands. Let's look at that. Yeah, that was on Edwards.
It's nice to see the two big men battling it out where it matters in the danger zone. Thomas, very nice.
Thomas, I didn't think he would make that one. He's more of a defensive guy, but he's got leadership. He's got leadership, especially in defense, but he's worked on his offensive game in the off-season. Enjoy, 2 for 2. 9-point game.
Slick from Thomas. Here comes Barn. Barn up against his fellow playmaker Kenyatta. Out to John Eung. Eung's had a decent game. Barn receives it back. Takes on Daniels. He draws the foul.
But the fouls so far in this quarter are quite high. Richard Smith comes in for the Indonesia Warriors because at the moment the Dragons are getting too many easy baskets, and Richard Smith is known for his aggressive style of play. He may look like he's very experienced, but he's a very, very young man, 24 years of age, and Bunsin Oi from Penang gets the basket. He hasn't had a lot of game time, Bunsin Oi, this season. Average field goal percentage so far is 30%, but he'll want to work on his shooting game. And he has worked. He's a workhorse, but that's what I said. He needs to work on his shooting game more.
Rebounded by Sitapu. Here's Kenyatta. Kenyatta up against Barn once more, trying to find those openings. Seems to be going man for man. Amin is free on the outside, but Kenyatta goes himself, puts it up. Rebounded by Smith.
That's what I said about Smith. Rebounding prowess. Oh, hook shot, no go.
Here come the Dragons. On the break, Barn up against Kenyatta. What a matchup between those two.
Well, Kenyatta is trying to use his speed and basketball intelligence to read the game. Barn is using his more age-old experience. Look at this replay. Bunsino here. Yep, crossover and bump. Yep.
Technician Barn. Fantastic.
Fantastic. Can I use that line, sir? Can I use that?
Fire away.
Fire away. So, can he be fantastic from the free throw line? He was 1 for 2 earlier. Let's see if he can go 2 for 2. That would have raised his confidence and said to Coach Ariel, yeah, I think I'll keep him on a little bit longer. Just over 3 minutes to go in this quarter before halftime.
Just watch Edwards and Thomas on the outside. They'll be fighting for that rebound, but they don't need it.
Nope. Okay, Coach Purvis would be getting a little worried here, but Andy, should he let the clock run out, or should he make some changes now to really, well, just revitalize this Warriors team?
The dynamism from the Dragons is kind of playing into their hands. They're drawing quite a lot of fouls. The Warriors just need to be a little bit more careful. And you have to say, the Dragons' rebounding has been quite impressive, much better than in the previous game. Edwards has been significant, and Barn has been calling the shots offensively.
Well, Coach Ariel, as you can tell, has been doing more individual defense. Rebounding, you just spoke about rebounding. I think they heard you again. Every time you say something, Andy, I think it goes the other way. Your prediction ball, my friend, today is a little bit gloomy. I'm just kidding.
This time Barn takes on Smith Jr., drives in, outside to John spins. Oh, great pass there, rebounded by Edwards. Edwards sails the Dragon into a significant lead now.
Okay, Coach Purvis has had enough. He said, Wusong, warm up. I need some baskets now.
Sitepu in the key. Again, Edwards is there. Right place, right time. He's the man. Here comes Barn driving. Is that a charge? Looked like the feet were planted.
Yeah, that look, I had to look at it again. But, you know, I thought that would have gone the other way. Let's look at it again. Bunsin Oi.
Are both feet planted here?
Ooh. What do you say, Andy?
The Warriors maybe can feel a little bit hard done by there, but how many times has Barn drawn the foul in this quarter?
Quite a bit, and if we look at that replay again, it could have been on Barn for charging. But count his lucky stars and count his lucky baskets.
Showing some consistency from the free throw line. This man from Penang, so experienced. He's played for Malaysia, really stamping his authority down as a real leader in this Dragons team. As he, cool as you like, nails it again.
I wouldn't call him so much of a leader, but more of a different alternative. Because last season, the Dragons had Lau Bik Eung, who was a little bit short on game time and height, and very much shooting. Okay. Look, this is where the Dragons really need to improve their rebounding. Thomas has got it. Edwards, big man to big man. No joy. Who's got the rebound? It's the Dragons on the counter attack.
That Barn again, fast break. Wow. Super breaking from the Dragons there. And you have to say the rebounding actually has not been too bad. In my opinion, it's vastly improved.
It's improved, and he gets the hoop in the arm there.
That's got to be something they've worked on in training, those defensive boards. It just makes the world of difference when you've got a man like Thomas and Daniels with the way he's been playing today.
Foul on Edwards in there, and that'll be a three-point play. It's the basket, and now it's going for the basket, and no joy. And Richard, who's that there? See, this is where rebounding is key. For the three.
Sitepu! He'll keep that one on tape.
Dodo, who is a man who doesn't shoot much, keeps the Warriors in this game. And it's an 11-point game at the moment. Dragons will want to have a double-digit lead going into the halftime break.
Loshi 5. Oh, Jing's lost it. Jing getting a few minutes on the basketball court. Mario Wu-Sang can be the playmaker for the Warriors, the veteran. National player, national treasure. Finds Richard Smith in the paint, but again, great defensive work from Edwards, who's stolen it. Dragons look to break now. John Eung puts it up, rebounded from Edwards at the other end of the court, but here, the Warriors with Richard Smith with an easy two.
Could have been. Now they've made it a game. It's only 9 points. A lot of positives to take for the Warriors, and they shoot the Dragons. No air ball, and that's the halftime. Wusong goes for it, but no joy as well. What a very, very interesting half, Andy.
Exciting stuff, Ben. Listen to this home crowd at MABA Stadium.
The Westports Malaysia Dragons lead 45 points to 36, even though the Dragons did dominate that quarter, but the Warriors saying we will not back down. We are champions. So both teams will go into the break and need to look at their strategy. For the Warriors, they need to look at penetration. For the Dragons, they need to look at consistency of rebounding.
I think it's vastly improved today, Ben. Warriors need to find their flow again as we go into the next quarter. I'm looking at the Dragons to continue this flow.
Okay, we're just going to take a very short commercial break. Don't go away. It's the Dragons versus the Warriors right here on the ASEAN Basketball League. Welcome back to the MABA Stadium in Kuala Lumpur, live on ESPN between the home team, the Westports Malaysia Dragons, and the visiting defending champions, the Indonesia Warriors. You're still with me, Ben Ibrahim and Andy Whitelaw, and the Dragons lead 45 points to 36. But if you look at the statistics of this game, in the first quarter, the Dragons outscored the Warriors 10 points to 6 and kept that momentum going, 22 points to 17. Now we go to Lenora, who's talking to the team manager of the Westports Malaysia Dragons.
Okay, guys, thank you, Ben and Andy. Now with me is the general manager, Jakob of KL Dragons. Now you guys have a really good lead so far, but I gotta ask, on the turnovers that's happening a lot with the KL Dragons, what's going on with that?
Yeah, I must say we're a little bit scrappy this time. I don't know, the reason is probably jittery, coming home for the first time. So that's what we're going to do. We'll try to talk to the team shortly, try to get them more organized, and hopefully the second half will be better.
What about the inconsistency of the rebounds?
Well, as I said, both teams are a little bit scrappy. So hopefully we can iron that out in this half time, and we'll show you a better basketball shortly.
Okay. Thank you very much. Back to you, Ben and Andy.
Thanks very much, Lenora. And yes, even the team manager of the Westports Malaysia Dragons said he does not know what's going on. It's probably a bit of nerves on why they are turning the ball over so much. Andy, let's look at the statistics. 7 turnovers for the Dragons and only 2 for the Warriors. It's very, very similar to what we saw on Tuesday night.
I'll tell you what, it's that exuberance to go forward and attack quickly. They're trying too hard. If you look at the way that Barn picks up the ball, they're trying for the fast break every time. Sometimes it's going to slip up. They're going to concede possession. But if you look at the defensive rebounds, 19 defensive rebounds in the first half. For me, that's an improvement on the previous game.
Well, let's look at the stats again. Let's look at the field goal percentage here for them. Yes, field goal percentage for the team. It's more in the Dragons' favor, isn't it?
It's 54% for the Dragons and 28% for the Indonesian Warriors. Now from three-point land, we're looking at 75% for the Dragons, which, for my money, is really where they've got their lead. If you look at the likes of Shifai, who's 2 for 2 from the three-point line. Barnes look good, John Kabahag, they've got their shooters, and if they can keep them hot, keep them on form, they'll be confident of keeping this lead.
Okay, we've got some highlights coming up here on the show, and it's coming to right now, not very, very soon. Now we have a bit of entertainment here at the moment. Yes, here we go, Andy. Talk us through.
Well, that's Bozeman from outside. Great technique there. John who I think has had a decent half into Bozeman. Lovely assist there. And this is where the Dragons were finding their rhythm. But inside the paint is where the Warriors thrive. Daniels getting on the score sheet many, many times for the Indonesia Warriors. But Cedric Bozeman's pumped after missing those 2 free throws in Jakarta. He's been significant. While inside the lane, Thomas will show his strength time and time again.
I must say that the Dragons did give the Warriors, just like we saw there, some easy baskets. But here and there, what you saw just there with Edwards scoring, it was really working a nice system and perimeter.
That's that man Daniels really showing what he can do in terms of scoring, trying to get that teamwork going with Thomas there, as we saw, doing well on the offensive board. But Edwards, for my money, is making a very significant impact for the Dragons, both defensively and offensively.
Well, Edwards would have been very disappointed with his performance, even though he had 13 rebounds on Tuesday night against the Warriors, but he could have got more, and he got a rebound there. And this is, this was a foul that we thought it was a foul on Bansinoy, but it wasn't. It was 2 shots. And then from here, the Dragons had a bit more momentum.
That's Richard Smith going forward with the layup, using his physicality to just barge the defender out the way there. But Edwards, if he can keep on those defensive boards, he can launch the attacks.
Well, what do you think, Andy? Because in my opinion, in this second half, this is the quarter of concern for the Dragons, because traditionally and historically, they usually let teams back into it in the third quarter, and that's what we saw in their history, not just this season, but over last season as well. Once they get a double-digit lead, but in this case it's still a single-digit lead, they get really complacent, and then anything can break loose. All hell can break loose, really.
It's all about mentality, Ben. Cedric Bozeman, I hear in the dressing room, is a man who lifts the team. You've got Guga, who's been the leader of this team for much of the time, and he knows how to lead by example. But the one who's impressed me, not so much the vocal guy in the dressing room, is Barn. When he's picked up the ball and driven to the key, great things have happened for the Dragons.
No, very much so. So Bun, he's like the unexpected six-man who is making the difference for the Dragons. But for the Warriors, the player so far that's making an impact more off the boards is Chris Daniels. But we'll speak more about Daniels and the Warriors when we come back from a short commercial break. Stick with us right here on the ASEAN Basketball League. We're back here at the MABA Stadium in Kuala Lumpur, live on ESPN, and it's the Westports Malaysia Dragons that take the league over their rivals, the Indonesia Warriors, 45 points to 36. And yes, if you do want to find out some more information about the home team, just go to www.kldragons.com. Yes, that's www.kldragons.com. And if you want to find out more about our courtside reporter, Lenora Lau, and follow her, well, you'll just have to wait and see, because I'll tell you her Twitter account a little bit later. So there it is, Lenora, Twitter, and now Coach Purvis with Lenora.
Hello guys. Okay, thanks so much Ben and Andy. Now, okay, Coach, I gotta ask. There's a lot of you're shooting for the Warriors. What's happening? The ball don't seem to be going in. How are you addressing that on the game?
Well, we just got to shoot with confidence. I think the effort's there right now. We've had some open looks. We got to be able to knock those down. we've also got to get into a flow. There's been a lot of free throws or fouls on both sides, so we need to be able to get into a better flow and just knock down those open shots with confidence.
Are you going to change your defense tactics?
No, I'm okay with our defense. That's what we try and pride ourselves on. We just got to be able to make shots.
Thank you very much. Good luck for the game. Back to you, Andy.
Well, if you look at the points from turnovers, the Warriors have 8, the Dragons have 0, so the sloppiness of the Dragons' handling has to be picked up. We know that they like to break fast, we know that they like to move the ball quickly, but that's an area the Warriors can be happy with. In addition, points in the paint, the Warriors have 12, the Dragons just 4. So in the paint is where they're strong. We know how dominant Thomas can be, and Daniels is their leading scorer in the match.
Yeah, well, Daniels has done really well. He's working the boards as well, using his defensive prowess and strength to the Warriors' advantage, and that's what he's got to do, really keep them in the game. But the Dragons, Edwards, big time improver on the rebound, got to keep that consistency going. Let's see if this quarter is the complacency quarter for the Westports Malaysia Dragons.
All about mentality, isn't it, Ben? We've spoken about it at halftime, but if you look at Coach Ariel, he's really played his cards right. If you look, 20 points from the bench for the KL Dragons, just 4 from the Warriors. So Pervez doesn't like to make a lot of changes to his starting 5, but superiority in that respect lies with Ariel.
Very much so.
Guga taking on John Smith Jr. to get us underway in the second half.
Rejection there by Thomas. Wusong dictating tempo. Sees the open man, John Smith takes the shot himself. Basket!
With the 3, Mario Wusong, the veteran, so often the inspiration for the Indonesia Warriors. But here's an inspiration for the Dragons. Guga puts it up. The rebound from Tautua misses it, and Thomas takes the ball back to Wusong. Smith Jr. in the top of the key now, back to Wusong. Wusong takes him on, back to Smith Jr. Smith Jr. thinks about the shot, hesitates, slows it down. 1v1 with Guga, he drives in, puts it out. Sitepu with the 3.
What did I say about complacency? What did I say about complacency? That's 2 3-point baskets and is now a 3-point game.
Sitepu, the man they call Dodo, wide open in the corner there.
There's a bit of confusion here. No, there's a bit of a substitution. Okay, and Priantono comes in and he can shoot. If he shoots a 3,
and he can. Complacency, a real issue here, Ben. The lead cut to just 3 within seconds of the restart. The Warriors come out flying. Here's Guga trying to restore a gap in that lead again. The playmaker to Tautua. Tautua, past it is off. Patrick Kabahag shoots!
Patrick Kabahag, really good shot there. Really beating his man, looking for the basket.
That looked a little reckless from Guga. Just caught John Smith Jr. as he drove.
Well, that
left a trailing hand.
That is a blocking foul. Dragons, not their ball. Smith, rejection. Edwards, gotta get it. Yep, Patrick Kabahag's got it. Breaking away. Seeing the open man, he should go to Guga. No, it's a foul. Guga was open there. Missed opportunity by the Dragons.
They cannot let the Indonesia Warriors get into a flow as they are so dangerous inside. First half, a feature of that we saw play broken up frequently by offensive and defensive fouls. So many free throws going on. But if the Warriors can start flowing, the Dragons are in trouble. Here they go on the break. Mario Wusong, he's got support from Sitepu outside, but well stolen from Guga. Guga on the break. Guga drives in, out to Edwards. Edwards puts up a delightful layup.
Now that's what the Dragons' bread and butter is all about. Working on the fast break, running at the opposition, and then creating that open man space and really tricking the opposition. They're going individual defense. Kabahag and Wusong.
Thomas puts up the screen on Kabahag, trying to create that space for Mario Wusong, and in the process, winning the foul for his team.
That is a foul.
Good teamwork there from Thomas. Smart play, trying to create that space to Wusong. John Smith. John Smith creating the opening outside to Wusong. Wusong inside to Daniels. Daniels double teamed by Jeffries. Jeffries and Guga doing a good job on the D there.
Looks like both teams are just like, let's get it going, let's get it going. Gotta save their tickets, gotta save their energy. Priantono, we haven't seen much of him. Ooh, that is traveling, and that is Dragons ball. Love to look at that replay again.
Bit of over-exuberance from Aman Priantono there. The tempo has lifted. You feel it from the Warriors. They've come out. Purvis must have had a few words at half-time because the Warriors look a different team in this second half to me. I mean, look at the space here for Daniels. An easy layup.
That was because of a turnover. Again, the big TO word. And looks like Dragons really have themselves to blame.
Now to has found Jeffries. Jeffries to Cougar on the outside. Cabahug wants the ball. He's taking on Smith Jr. Here's Edwards. Edwards, nice little fake, comes inside, puts it up. Very smooth from Edwards.
Very smooth indeed. A man of his size and caliber. You don't see many centers in any part of the world shooting, making baskets, but what a great basket by Mario Wusong. Fantastic, keeping them in the game, using all his experience in shooting and coach. Todd Purvis goes to Jared Kanyana for a bit more speed and penetration. He's about to come on.
You saw the smile on Todd Purvis's face as the three went in for Mario Wusong, using every bit of his experience. But here's Tautua with the one-handed. Good rebounding from Daniels. Now the Warriors look to break through. John Smith Jr. He's got Wusong on the outside, uses him. Wusong thinks about the three, switches it. Good rebounding from Edwards. Nice interplay from the Warriors.
Right, that's a turnover. Again, turnover. I've said that like a broken record in this game. Again, turnover. Do they want the ball? Jeffries to the basket. Oh. Okay, fast break, easy basket here for John Smith. And they're back in this game.
Too easy. Sloppy again from the KL Dragons. This is home court. They're looking for vengeance for that 1-point defeat in Jakarta in midweek. They have to show a stronger mentality.
It's complacency, Andy. On Thursday night, they looked each other in the eyes trying to say, no complacency. Patrick, unlucky there. Hit the back of the rim, and the Warriors on the attack again.
Here comes Mario Wusong up against Edwards, takes it in. Sideward pass to John Smith Jr. He's got support from Priantono on the edge of the box. Does not need it. Puts up the three with some style, and they've called the timeout.
And that is the first lead of the game for the Indonesia Warriors, the defending champions. They are hustling and bustling, and they are fired up and ready to go. They take the lead, 52 points to 51. It's a timeout here at the MABA Stadium. And Cougar tries to get his team to get back the lead, because for the first time in this game, the Dragons have not the lead, and yet it's gonna... What happened, Andy? What happened? What are we looking at? Have we changed channels?
It's just carelessness from the Dragons, and you've got to commend Purvis of the Indonesia Warriors, because he G'd his side up at halftime. I don't know what he said to the boys, but if you look at that look on Thomas's face as they came out for the second half, and the timeout was called, they have a lead that's just been cut by the KL Dragons, but they look more fired up, straight up. That's it.
Well, just over 4.5 minutes to go before this quarter, and the Dragons, they'll just want to protect the ball and not turn over the ball. Look at the way the Warriors are shooting, and like even though they didn't go in, but they were really working much better, getting the rebound, very aggressive, working the boards, working the paint.
John Smith certainly out the races, being aggressive in his play, getting it outside. Here comes Kenyatta with the three.
No joy, fast break, Guga for the lead, no!
That's disappointing. From a player with his experience, he should be scoring those, no doubt.
That's what you call pressure, mate. We have a foul here.
So far, after the second half, this quarter has belonged to the Indonesia Warriors.
I couldn't agree with you anymore. And there's illegal use of hands for the foul, and it's 2 shots for the big man, Gavin Edwards, a man who's played in the D-League. He's also played basketball in Greece, Ukraine, and Korea. So a very well-traveled man, basketball-wise, and he's only 25.
Picking up those air miles.
Frequent flyer points. Basketball, basket.
And we have parity at 54 apiece in this third quarter of the basketball match.
Look, Andy, if I was Coach RL, I'd tell him, look, we only have 4 minutes to go. Let's really just focus on protecting the ball and just slowing it down just a tad, okay? Because the Warriors, they know how to work the boards. Just slow it down. They figured it out. They're a smart team.
They've got to defend better down low. That's the Warriors' strength. And that's a lovely interchange between Kenyatta and Thomas. Doesn't result in a basket. But again, good teamwork. We saw this in Jakarta. Kenyatta dictating the play, using Thomas's presence in the key.
Well, Coach Purvis, sometimes he has a selection headache because he's got 4 point guards to select from, including Stan Pringle, who's out injured at the moment with a meniscus injury. Goes to Kenyatta. Guzman. Oh, great aggressive play by Cedric, beating 3 players. Let's look at that again. The beats, and he beats the demon. He beats the demon.
Cedric, the baller, Bozeman hosing down the Warriors. Look at him go. He's the man who can inspire his team. He can pick them up. Just look at his numbers so far in the league. Out to Barn, back to Bozeman. Bozeman looking for options. It's very tight in that key, but he drives in, puts it up. Rebounded. No one challenging Thomas for that rebound. Here's Kenyatta.
2 shots to Jared Kenyatta, and a chance to level it up here at MABA. But I must say, Andy, this is a fantastic game. Say what you want, turnovers, soft rebounding, aggressive rebounding, contentious calls from the referee. It's been a great game.
It's got it all, and it's going to go right down to the wire. It's very hard to predict which team is going to walk away with the W, Ben. And look at the crowd as well. We're looking at a fully, almost packed stadium here at MABA.
Really good for a public holiday weekend here in Malaysia. That goes to show you the Dragons are ever so passionate, the fans.
Malaysia Dragons desperate to get their first home win of the season against their great rivals, the Indonesia Warriors, of course, last season's champions of the ABL. Here's Barnes, Cedric Bozeman, looking to carve out an opening. Technically a brilliant player, finds John Ohm. Is he fouled? He's lost his footing there. Oh, they tried
Turnover again on the fast break. Daniels.
The second time we've seen that. Almost identical Daniels after the turnover. Easy layup. They cannot gift the Warriors these kind of opportunities. Again! With the easy layup, Kenyatta storms the Warriors into a 4-point lead.
Okay, I told you this was the complacency quarter, and it's bitten them in the butt. Dragons need to get the next basket to lift their confidence, because once they're behind, confidence is everywhere at the moment. Shifai trying to go for it, spin, shoot, and basket. Well done, Lo Shifai.
The crowd roaring their appreciation. Delightful move from Shifai. What a spin and great technique on the finish.
Shifai Oh, turnover. Dragons got it. They have a chance to level it up. Can they? Will they? And they've turned it over. Spoke too soon.
Bozeman, you get the impression, just trying to force it a bit much for the Dragons, just trying to do too much, goes for the behind the back, loses possession. They need to be more careful with the rock.
Yeah, that's a fair point, but Bozeman really needs to feel like it doesn't have to carry this team because there's some really, really good players. They have a great bench. 3-point shot for Dodo. Jodo, the flying bird from Indonesia, has given the Warriors a 5-point lead. Malaysia Dragons need to get another basket, and we're just going to go for a very short commercial break. Not now. Cedric Bozeman.
Oh, they could have done with that.
Okay. Thought we were going to go for a commercial break there, but we're not. But no, too much excitement here at the MABA Stadium.
The offensive rebounds have all but disappeared for the Dragons as Kenyatta puts up an incredible three for the Warriors. They move into an 8-point lead with under 20 seconds to go in the quarter.
We just need to get a basket. They being the Dragons, Andy. Okay, they'll be kicking themselves after this one. Bozeman. Okay, 3-point play by Bunsen. Oi! No joy. And the Warriors will finish this quarter as the better team. By a country mile, they were the better team. Better shooting, better scoring. As you can see, they're all pumped up, high-fiving each other. They said, yeah, that was our quarter, and we can win this game away from home. And we're just going to go for a very short break. Don't go away. No, you have not switched the channel. It is the Indonesia Warriors, the defending champions of the ASEAN Basketball League, who have the lead over the Malaysia Dragons, the host, 66-58. And that quarter, Andy, belonged to the Indonesia Warriors. Great hustle, great rebounding, and most importantly, great shooting.
Just look at the expressions on the Warriors' faces as they went in at the end of the quarter. They were delighted, they were pumped up, fired up. Coach Purvis will be very happy indeed with the attitude he's seen from his players.
Attitude, but the attitude of the players of the Dragons, Coach Van Guardia, he'll be livid with that performance.
I'd like to see what Van Guardia can do from the bench. Remember that first half, they scored 20 points off that bench. Now, in my opinion, they have the superior bench. The Warriors like to keep it similar. They only used 8 players from their roster all season long, but those players are doing the business at the moment.
Very much so, working with what you have, and there's no Stan Pringle yet. Imagine if Pringle was in this lineup, it would be some, well, yatata basketball.
They are the reigning champions. Here we go in the fourth and final quarter. What can the Dragons produce in front of this home crowd? First home crowd game of the season, and these fans do not want to go home disappointed.
Well, just keep it simple. Keep it simple. Work the screens, work the boards, and just slow the ball down because they have given the Warriors a lot of possession, a lot of basket time with turnovers. Rebound, no, Richard Smith, well done. Nope, sloppy, well done, John Owen.
Long pass into low sheet 5. Dragons clawing their way back into this basketball game.
Let's not say anything yet. Kenyatta now.
Kenyatta with the three. No, Richard Smith with the rebound. Draws the foul. Cedric Bozeman got to keep his hands to himself.
Well, that call could have gone either way. And we just got a word from Lenora saying, coach of the Dragons, very angry at them not doing the basics right. They've got to stick their hands up and man-on-man defense.
Derek Kenyatta is having a field day at MABA Stadium. Look how pumped the guy is. He is improving week on week. Coach Purvis cannot say anything but good things about this guy. He is his number one man. You talk about the development of local players at the start, Ben. This is one who is improving every game that we see him. And look how fit he is. He's just running the show. He's ambitious. He's taking on the Dragons in the key. And if the opening's not there, he's passing it off to the likes of Amin to shoot, or Thomas.
Top Richard Smith there, doing very well on the rebounding side of things. There he is again. A bit unlucky, but he's making the difference at the start of this quarter. Watch the backcourt, watch the backcourt.
Has to watch those loose balls, but here's Loshi 5, back to Bart. He can make things happen. John Ng trying to find Bozeman, but good D from the Warriors.
This can't seem to find a rhythm here at the moment, Andy. The Malaysia Dragons just get stifled all the time.
Warriors rebounding at 57% at the moment compared to the Dragons 43.
That's a huge stat.
Superior at both ends of the basketball court.
And since my man, you've got the basketball sheet, what's the turnovers like? And that's Malaysia Dragons basket, 4-point game here at MABA. Warriors don't want to let them back into it. Man-on-man defense. Richard Smith, not much of a shooter. Open for Thomas, basket.
Thomas doesn't miss those.
Nope.
You asked about turnovers, Ben. 19 points for the Warriors from turnovers. Just a miserable 2 from the Dragons. And we spoke about this before the match. This is where the game was going to be won and lost. Here's Edwards, Bozeman. Bozeman needs to inspire the Dragons, and that's a good start.
Very, very handy basket there. It's a 3-point game. It keeps changing. You can get a heart attack watching this game.
That was crucial from Cedric Bozeman. Good looking pass to Daniels. Daniels up against Tautua. 2 strong men, and he's gone out of bounds there, but the push is given on Tautua. Warriors pass.
Need to look at that replay again. That could have gone either way. But bottom line, it is going to be an inbound pass. By the way, let's look at that. Let's look at this, Andy. Let's look at this. Oh, that was so quick. Oh, open shot. Rebound. Good rebound by Bozeman. Now he counters. He tries to go for the quick break. To the man. Is it basket? No, air ball. What was that going to? Quick attack, Wusong, can he get the basket? No, he slows it down. He's trying to work the clock. Still got about 16 seconds on the shot clock.
The Dragons have to keep shooting. They still have 60% success from the 3-point land compared to the Warriors' 38. Now the Warriors' strength is in the key, as we know. But the Dragons, if they can get it to their sharpshooters, there's still a way back into this match. There's only 3 points between the two teams in the game.
And Seelan comes on for John Ng, and looks like the intent is very, very clear by Coach Ariel. Make those money shots. Hit those shots, and we're back in this game.
Seelan 0 for 3 from field goals. But we know when he hits a hot streak, he can hit them. He's a veteran, he's got experience. But here's Daniels. Daniels showing good technique. Thomas on the rebound.
And it's a Dragons ball. The Dragons been thrown a lifeline at the moment. Coach Ariel, Lenora was just saying to me, Coach Ariel was saying that, look, do not lose focus of your defensive game. I know you guys love to attack, but go man for man. Go with him.
15 turnovers for the Dragons, not good enough, but I'll tell you what, 68 apiece. No!
And he gets the hoop in the arm, and it counts.
That was hesitation. I wasn't sure if the referee was going to give that, you know.
Well, let's look at this again. He's got it. And yes.
Edwards levitating.
Oh, hoop in the arm. He's just going to give it. Looked like a foul. 68 apiece.
Thomas. Daniels with the fake.
I think they're very quick there, as you can see, Andy. Very quick. Once Daniels or the big man on the Warriors have the ball, they're just very quick. They just shove it out of his hand. They're just going to slow it down and just like stick their hand out. Just give them a bit of scare that they're there.
Cedric Bozeman works the shot clock, puts it up, rebound from Daniels. Now the Warriors look to break. Here's Kenyatta. Kenyatta can make things happen, drives in, fakes, back to Daniels. Good combination play from the Warriors. Edwards penalized.
That's a fair call, that's a fair call.
Got to keep that discipline, the Dragons. They cannot lose their heads now.
Fair call by the referee, and it's going to be an opportunity for a 4-point game for the Indonesia Warriors over the Malaysia Dragons, who would be livid, but they're bringing on Patrick Kabahag. So they've got Patrick Kabahag and Seelan on the floor, two shooting guards. They need to shoot their way back into this game. Oh, that might cost.
Daniels is 3 from 7 from the free throw line.
Gotta set it up, body elevation. There should be a basket. No!
3 from 8.
Very lucky. Still a 2-point game, 1-possession game. Bozeman, can he level it up? Sealand's open.
Space. Patrick! No luck.
No joy there.
They've got to rebound those. But here comes Derek Kenyatta. He can really make things happen for the Indonesia Warriors. He's had a great game. Slowing it down, working the shot clock.
Kenyatta, courage.
Oh, that's too easy, Ben.
Where was the hand? Where was the hand that Coach Ariel spoke about? Put your hand in his face. It's not that difficult. It's a 5-point lead.
That's ridiculous. If the Warriors end up winning this game, that will be a key moment in this game.
That is the moment of the game. Tatua hesitates.
That's got to be the easiest 3 of the game so far.
Oh, easily. 2 shots. Not 2 shots. It is a foul. The 3rd team foul of this quarter. Gotta be careful. Bozeman's just slowing it down. 9 on the shot clock.
Tautua! What a spin from Tautua. It's moments like that that can give the Dragons a lift. Listen to this crowd, they like it.
Defense is the word of the hour. How long to go now?
They must show some discipline here, Ben. Derek Kenyatta taking on Patrick Kabahag again with the 3. This time it doesn't sink for him, but Cedric Bozeman looking to launch the break for the Dragons. Can they find the likes of Patrick Kabahag in 3-point land?
Well, just gotta protect the ball. Okay, Patrick, no, hesitates. Go for the 2-shot. Patrick, drop. Oh, air ball. Oh my God.
That was horrible. Wow. Nice idea with the fake, but at this stage the 3 would be nice.
Execution for the Malaysia Dragons is a bit poor in this second half. Patrick should have put that away.
Loose ball from Thomas there. Here comes Bozeman on the break. He's got Seelan outside, cuts inside, loops around Tautua. Patrick desperately trying to find space.
Sealand's open, Sealand's open, Sealand's open. Sealand, go to Sealand. No, they're reluctant. Patrick spins. Oh. I think that is going to come back and haunt the Dragons in this game if they go down. Execution in the paint. Thomas, open shot.
And here comes Cedric Bozeman. They got off lightly there. Still 2 points in it. 3 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the quarter. Edwards puts it up. Very nice.
And it's a timeout, and we're just going to go for a very short commercial break. It's 72 apiece right here at the MABA Stadium. Don't go away. This is edge of your seat style of basketball. 72 points apiece right here at the MABA Stadium in Kuala Lumpur between the Malaysia Dragons and the visiting defending champions, the Indonesia Warriors. Ben Ibrahim, Andy Whitelaw, and Lenora Lau. And Andy, it's heart attack time.
It doesn't get tighter than this.
Okay, and if you want to tweet us at our KL Dragons Twitter account, at KL Dragons, tell us what you think. Tell us who you think is the best player of this game. Andy, who's your best player of this game?
You know what? The man on the ball right now has really impressed me, Derek Kenyatta. He's dictated the play. We saw with that three-pointer how effective he can be. Good interception from Shifai to get the Malaysia Dragons going. Cedric Bozeman, the main man for the home team, looking to inspire his teammates. Good pass inside to Tautua. Tautua turns, puts it up. That's sloppy again from the Dragons. Good rebounding from the Warriors, and here they go on the break.
This could go to overtime. Shut down Kenyatta, shut down Kenyatta.
Mario Wusang using all his years of experience, working the shot clock. He's one-on-one with Captain Guga. Puts it up, that's a loose shot. But here come the Dragons on the fast break. Cedric Bozeman taking on Wusang, taking it to the hole. And that is great defending from Daniels.
Well done, rejection. Okay, this should be a basket. It's Cole.
With a block of his own, Edwards saying, "You're not the only one in this house."
Nobody wants the lead, Andy. This is amazing. It's like we're going like a tennis match.
Notice the tempo lift as the clock runs down. Here's Guga. Oh, did he draw the foul there? The Warriors don't like it. Wusang's protesting.
Wusang's got to be careful there. Back chat could lead to a technical. Oh, according to the referee for that call, it is a hooking foul. But they have the ball.
Guga inside to Edwards, back to Guga. Guga trying to work the space. That's a loose pass, but Tautua is onto it like a shot. From outside, Tautua! He's unlucky there, off the rim. But good rebounding from Edwards. They could have used that, Dragons. How crucial could that have been?
Oh my God, that is another foul. This time, illegal use of the hands.
And MABA Stadium is buzzing. Coach Purvis wondering, how is this game gonna end up? The Dragons do not want to lose in front of this home crowd.
That is a foul call there on the Warriors. Can the Dragons take advantage of this opportunity and hit the lead?
This is where nerves come into play. This is where you need leaders. Purvis making a change. Here comes Richard Smith off the bench. using his physicality. I'm sure he wants him on those defensive rebounds.
Well, I was just about to say, you know what that means. Big Smithy in. Big Smithy must protect. He must protect the ball in the paint.
Tautua, Cedric Boseman. What can he do here? Outside, great pass. He's fouled Patrick. Patrick can shoot. That's sloppy. Almost lost out to Wusung there. The referee gives the Dragons ball. Lucky for Patrick.
Lucky for Patrick, because from this angle, Andy, that looked like a Warriors ball.
I got to agree with you.
Yeah. Well, referees, they've confused us today, I must say.
Tautua out to Boseman. Good screen from Tautua. Gives Boseman the space. Is that the foul?
Well, did go for the basket. Timeout.
That was some solid D from the Warriors. They pride themselves on their defensive plays.
Defensive plays. And like both teams now, not long to go. And look at this. This is drama. You couldn't have scripted this any better, Andy. 1 minute and 28 seconds to go. 72 points apiece. And it was just like a tennis match. Just going down and up, down and up. Nobody could finish the execution. One man who would be disappointed with his style of execution today is Patrick Kabahag.
There's still plenty of time for him to have his moment, Ben. How many times have we seen Patrick steal the show this season and last with his sharp shooting? All he needs is to get into a flow, get into a rhythm, and he can hit them.
Okay, Coach Purvis, if I can read what he's saying there, he's just like, okay, everybody in. Huddle, defense. Coach Ariel taking the play here. He's setting it up. It very much looks like shoot the ball. George Powell from the Denver Nuggets always says, shoot the rock. In this case, shoot the rock, shoot the ball, and make the basket count.
Got to keep their heads cool at this stage of the game. This is where the coaches earn their money, and this is where your big players step up. We're looking at Boseman. Boseman had the opportunity in Jakarta to win the game. Who's it going to fall to, Ben? Who can decide it? It's going to come down to individuals.
That was, no wait a minute. Oh what? It's a Warriors ball? No. Can we look at the replay again? That should have been a Dragons ball. Oh, come on, referees. Oh, well.
Derek Kenyatta taking it forward for the Indonesian Warriors. Mario Wusung, great pass inside to Thomas. Thomas spins up against Edwards, puts it up, and a very, very important 2 points for the Indonesia Warriors.
This is very similar to Tuesday night. I can't take it, Andy.
Too many loose balls from the Malaysian Dragons as far as they're concerned, and that's too often been the case in this basketball game. Mario Wusung happy to slow it down, happy to run the shot clock as he drives in. Thomas provides the screen, creates the space. Richard Smith outside to Derek Kenyatta. Kenyatta 1v1 with Shi-Fi. Kenyatta.
Jump ball, jump ball, jump ball. No. Oh, God.
Time is slipping away for the Westports Malaysia Dragons. That was disappointing. There was a loose ball. We thought Edwards had his hands on it. Wasn't the case.
Yep. That is very much another. Well, look at Purvis. Look at Coach Ariel. He's stunned. So timeout here as both teams will re-strategize. 31 seconds to go, but it's still anybody's game, Andy.
We've spoken about it before, Ben. Malaysia Dragons have players who can hit the ball from anywhere. They need their big shooters in the game. They need to open up space for them. You're looking for Edwards to use his physicality, Tautua to create the space, Patrick Kabahag, Guga, or even Cedric Boseman, the man himself, could finish this for the Malaysia Dragons.
Well, on Thursday night's training, when they celebrated Patrick's birthday at the same time with some birthday cake, they just spent the last 40 minutes of the session just practicing on shooting, making those plays, dictating those plays from the free throw line. Just very simple stuff. Like we always say as basketball commentators, bread and butter is making your shots, the free throw line. Do that simply.
At the same time, all day long, the Warriors have been far superior in terms of rebounds. Now, if the Dragons put it up and they miss, you know that it could play into the Warriors' hands because they, all day long, Derek Kenyatta has broken with ease, and Daniels has more often than not been there to finish up. Now the crowd are going to play their part here. Mario Wusang shoots and scores.
Well, 3-point game. I think I know where they're going if they get the ball back. Mario Wusong, he's very, very good. Average field goal percentage is only 31% this season, but he's effective from the free throw line. And yep,
that could be game over, Ben.
Don't say anything yet. Anything can happen. Still a little bit of time. They've got to hit a 3. Yep.
Bozeman drives it in. Good pass, Tautua. Tautua drawing the foul.
And it is a foul. And they need to make this count. And Tautua, who has not been so effective from the line today, not bad, but that's not his strength. He's more of a defensive player, aggressive player. And when we come back after this timeout with both teams, it's going to be Malaysia Dragons ball. So 4 points, Andy, 25 seconds. Now look at Coach Ariel now as we see. He's going to say, look you guys, keep it calm. You just got to make that shot and make sure you are there for the rebound if you don't make that shot. That's one thing he also stressed during the week. He shouted and screamed at the players in training during the week and said, wake up, this is why you're losing it. You don't work the boards. If you don't get the shot, it's okay. Work the boards. Whereas Coach Purvis is just saying, keep it simple, boys. Do what you've been doing. You're doing well.
Jean-Claude Purvis telling his players to keep cool heads. You speaking to him before the game, there's great harmony among this group of players. There's no egos. They work for each other. And at this stage, they're far in the ascendancy.
I can see Coach Ariel there just peeking on his playbook. He's going to go to the corner for a 3-pointer. That's my prediction.
Yeah, they're going to have to swing it, aren't they, Ben? They're going to have to get it. Cedric Bozeman's the match winner if ever there was one, or Patrick Cabahug, but his shooting has not been the best today.
No. He'll be disappointed with that. He'll be quite upset about it, and he's got the weekend to think about it because it's back to work on Monday. And next week. Okay, word from Lenora is that they're going to work on another foul to score. Interesting piece of information. Okay, thanks Lenora for that.
Tautua. They needed that.
They needed that.
So both of us look to be incorrect. They're not going to go for the 3. But if Tautua shoots like that again, it'll be no good. Such a useful player in the court. His free throw record isn't the greatest.
Okay, that's game over, Andy. This is Warriors game.
They break now with Wusang. Wusang just trying to slow it down, and why not? That was a very, very immature foul from Patrick Cabahug. At this stage of the game, he's tugging his shirt.
No,
needless.
Well, it's very common what I saw of the Dragons last season, Andy. When they're losing, I remember against the Asia Patriots they played last season, they were only down by 3 points, but they gave the ball away and 2 shots for Nakia Miller to make it. And they're not a very composed team under pressure. One thing that I've always noticed about the Malaysia Dragons, and this is something they'll have to address, but it's better to get it wrong now at the start of the season than towards the business end of the season.
That's 100% from the free throw line for Mario Wusang, and that'll wrap it up for the Indonesia Warriors, surely.
Well, you never know. 2 3-pointers in less than 20 seconds, it could be, but we've seen funny things happen in the world of basketball and in the ASEAN Basketball League. We didn't predict
your optimism.
Yeah, well, you've got to stay positive, my friend, because I don't think the Dragons are very positive at the moment. Now they've dropped their guard. They didn't play the most effective piece of basketball today. They were always in the lead. But that complacency was probably the death of them in terms of this game.
It's difficult to watch because when they play to their strengths, they can be so effective, and you fancy that maybe they have a chance of taking this championship. But unless they cut out these individual errors and sloppy mistakes, it's going to be the same old story. In training, coach showed them the videos of the sloppy turnovers that they conceded. Every man stepped up and took responsibility, and we've just seen the same thing again today.
But let's take our hats off to the Indonesian Warriors. Even if they lose this game, they're really playing like champions. Not the best, not very effective, but champions always just grind it out.
This KL crowd not giving up hope. No one is leaving their seats here at MABA. There's still that glimmer that they can hit those threes and get back into this game.
Nobody's left yet, but that's a good sign.
Bozeman looking for the opening. Goes for the three. It's wild. Well rebounded from Patrick, but disappointingly, he's failed to capitalize on what looked like an air ball, but was actually a well-disguised pass from Cedric Bozeman.
Well, the Warriors are celebrating already. 2 shots on the line. Here's to give the Warriors a very comfortable victory. But the scoreboard did not reflect the style of play today, Andy. The Dragons fought, but they didn't fight very smart, did they?
Well, they fought all day long, Ben. But ultimately, it's just sloppy mistakes, immature errors that they must cut out of their game. And they can take heart from the fact that it is silly things that they've done. But technically, at times, they've been great going forward. I think Barnes been impressive.
To Kabahag. See, turnover again. That's the story of the Dragons today. Shoot. And that's the ball game. It is the Indonesia Warriors, the defending champions of 2012, who claim a 7-point victory over the host, the Westports Malaysia Dragons, 79 points to 72, and that's back-to-back losses for the home team and back-to-back victories for the defending champions and for the visitors. Now they'll go back home and really take a lot of confidence out of this game, because the Warriors were not very effective for 4 quarters, but they played the smarter basketball in the second half. We're just going to go for a very short commercial break, but don't go away with me, Ben Ibrahim, and Andy Whitelaw. Back here at the MABA Stadium in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. And yes, it's, if you're just joining us for the very first time today, it's very sorrow faces here for the host, the Malaysia Dragons. They were in the lead in the first half, but then suddenly they let the Warriors back into this game, and it was, well, all downhill from there. Andy Whitelaw, your thoughts?
The boys are going to be gutted at the end of the day. I mean, they had a 16-point lead at one stage in the game early on, and it looked as if they were going to really capitalize on their shooting, on the strengths we know they've showed quite often at the start of this season. They're still in its infancy, and there's still time for them to cut out those silly mistakes, but ultimately that's what let them down.
Well, yeah, well, if you look, I couldn't agree with you more, but if you look at it, it was just consistency. Remember at the start of the third quarter, Andy, I said to you, the complacency quarter. You know, looks like, you know, the Warriors hurt us, and they really capitalized on that opportunity. As we can see, well, on the floor at the moment, team owner Dato' Wira and Ruben Hanana Lingam having a chat to Coach Ariel and saying, heads up, chin up, it's okay. You know, we're backing you. We're going to, you know, really back you all the way. You know, yes, it's a back-to-back loss, but you know, there's some learning curves to take out of this.
You got a feel for the likes of Edwards and Bozeman. They are devastated. They've been there, seen it, and done it all. Played basketball all around the world, and it doesn't matter where you're playing. Defeat hurts.
Look at that. A sorrow, Patrick Kabag there.
Not a nice birthday present.
No, that's not the best way to turn 29, but there's a smile on his face. And looks like the Dragons are trying to keep their spirits up because they play a very revitalized Chang Thailand Slammers next Saturday here at the MABA Stadium in Kuala Lumpur, and that's led by Joe Jellybean Bryant. And Joe Jellybean Bryant was just saying in an interview the other day, look, my goal is to lift the standard of the local Thai players who've only played varsity basketball. So let's look at the highlights of this game where the Warriors won 79 points to 72.
Mario Wusang kept a cool head from the free throw line, and what a three that was. Significant in the basketball game. John Smith Jr. played his part as well, dishing out some decent assists, really driving the basketball into the paint. That was Patrick Kabahag.
One of his very few shots.
Yeah, he just didn't get on the ball enough today. There's John Smith making an important turnover for the Warriors. And how many times did this happen, Ben? Daniels completely alone after the Dragons lost the ball cheaply.
Well, they just lost their shape. You know, it's such a simple thing to do in the game. You've got to maintain your shape defensively and offensively. Guard your man. Yes, in the game this week on their loss on Tuesday night, zone defense didn't work, but individual defense, Daniels goes for it. He had a great game.
Daniels, John Smith Jr. was one of the heroes for them today, I thought. Guga for the Dragons as the captain wasn't involved enough, not nearly as he was in previous games, such as in Bangkok 2 games ago against the Slammers. Thomas wasn't as effective as I thought he'd be, but Daniels was the man today for the Warriors, arguably man of the match. But this man has my shout, Kenyatta. He ran the play and so ambitious just to run and run at the Dragons, knowing that he can carve an opening.
Well, Brian Williams, you miss him in moments like this because the big W, as they call him, yes, he is very, very good at rebounding. He was up
Here's
there.
Derek Kenyatta. This was one of the most significant moments in the game, completely unopposed with the 3. Great stuff. Here's a long pass. Low sheaf by with it.
Okay, and that summed it up. Yep, that summed it up. You know what? The Dragons, they had their chances. It was 72 apiece with a couple of minutes to go. In moments like these, Bosman, had the ball. So now we go to Lenora, who's interviewing the winning coach.
Thank you very much, Ben and Andy. I'm with coach of the Indonesia Warriors. Oh my gosh, coach, that was a fantastic game. Congratulations. Now, tell me, what was the winning thing? What was the factor that made your team win back-to-back?
Well, first of all, thank you. I appreciate that. But it's for us, it's about mental toughness. We pride ourselves on defense and rebounding, and certainly in the first half, we couldn't throw the ball in the ocean. We really struggled shooting the ball. So once we bounced back and made a couple of shots, our defense stayed consistent, and that's really what we try and pride ourselves on.
Would you say Canada is your MVP for the match, for the game, because he scored a lot of 3-pointers for you?
He made some key shots for us, but really it was a team effort. And Jarrett Kenyatta is a great player for us and creates a lot for his teammates. They love playing with him. But the whole overall team deserves the credit.
Thank you very much, coach. Back to you, Ben and Andy.
Thanks very much, Lenora. Yep, like coach said, it was their mental toughness that won them the game. And yes, Jared Kenyatta and the whole team playing really, really effective, smart basketball, Andy.
Indeed, what a superstar he was, and Coach Purvis so proud of his playmaker there. His teammates loved playing with him, and I think we've got an interview with Thomas.
Yep, well now we're going back to Lenora, who's speaking to Chris Daniels.
Okay. Hello very much again. Thank you so much, Ben and Andy. I'm with Chris Daniels, and oh my gosh, what was going through your mind at the fourth quarter when it was tied? What was going through your mind?
We just wanted to keep fighting. I think our last away game in Saigon, in that same situation, we kind of lost ourselves, but today, we held together and we were able to pull out the win.
It was a bit rough at the beginning because it was a bit slow in picking up, but today, what exactly was the thing that brought you guys all together and made that teamwork work for you guys to win?
The same thing. We didn't want to put ourselves in our too deep of a hole to start the season. We started off 0-2. Got out to a bad start, so we all knew that for this road trip, it was a couple games that we had to win.
Thank you very much, Chris. It was a pleasure. Congratulations again. Thank you so much, Ben and Andy. Back to you.
Chris Daniels was sensational today. He kept a cool head all day long. We talk about mentality. He showed it in abundance.
Oh, well, he showed composure. But let's just go for a very, very short commercial break. More when we come back right here on the ASEAN Basketball League Season 2013. And the defending champions roar on. They go back home, whereas the Westports Malaysia Dragons, they come back here to MABA next week to take on the Chang Thailand Slammers, who, Andy, are ever improving all the time under the leadership of their great coach, Jellybean Bryan.
Yeah, you mentioned him trying to integrate the local players, which I've been quite impressed with. And the previous game, the Dragons can take heart from getting a great win on the road. They'll, of course, be taking them back here to MABA Stadium. That will be crucial that they get their first W in front of these Dragon fans.
Now, Andy, plenty to work on when the Dragons and the Warriors go back to their respective training grounds. But let's start with the losing team, the Malaysia Dragons, the hosts. What do they need to work on? Because in my opinion, it's turnovers.
Yeah, absolutely. Again and again and again. How many times has this come up both before the game, during it, and now after? I think it's something Ariel has tried to work on, cutting out individual errors and sloppiness, but it's something he'll certainly be thinking about.
Let's look at the upcoming games coming up soon. The Singapore Slingers take on the Indonesia Warriors, the San Miguel Beermen versus the Saigon Heat. And like I said earlier, the Westports Malaysia Dragons, the home team, will take on the ever so improving Chang Thailand Slammers. And yep, they have come a long way, and they've brought in another import, Chris Charles, who is very, very aggressive on the rebounding, on the attack. A great player to watch, I must say, Andy.
Yeah, no, individually, the Slammers are going to bring it, and we're a big fan of their coach, Jellybean Bryan. He knows what he's doing. He tends to find the balance well between the imports and the locals, but Dragons can take away the positive and the negatives from today, and they know what they have to work on.
Yep, well said, positives and the negatives. Well, that wraps up today's game. A victory for the Indonesia Warriors. I'm Ben Ibrahim, he's Andy Whitelaw, and Lenora Lau saying goodbye. We'll see you next time right here on the ASEAN Basketball League Season 2013.